back again here to CFGI, and we got a good one slated for you that's going to be important for Group B and how it's going to play out. It's going to be Penta versus Boss. I almost forgot it after thinking about it and being excited for it. I think it's going to be a really good match. I don't expect Penta to continue to EU is definitely not as weak a region as they're showing, I feel like.
That is true. And Penta in their last match, they actually look pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, again, they've had to play SV.
But on the first half, they were looking pretty goddamn good.
The only issue is that you have to say the loss to TNC is really hurting them here.
Yeah. That was just uncharacteristic. They're usually really good at Mexico, and I'm not saying TNC is bad, but you look at TNC 1-4 now, are they?
And
or about to be 1-4 because they're going to play SV.
I mean, right before what was the closest match that we just had was an absolute stomp. It has to be said, between SV and TNC, and unable to pull it out was Penta, and that's hurting them now.
I mean, you just want to know the strength of the teams or what the strength of the teams is supposed to be. Just look how Penta played against SV and how TNC played against SV. It's just unexpected that they would get stomped so hard by TNC. 10-5? What?
Yeah, it wasn't even close, right?
Yeah.
Which means that they're going to have to come back out and really put the screws to both Boss and OPK in their final two matches to try and get out of these groups. They're by no means dead. Flipside is pretty much out. Well, not pretty much. They are 100% out. I mean, we already know who's escaping from Group B. But at the very least, even if that's not an issue, even if you're not worried about getting out of groups, just for regional pride, you've got to put something on the board here, as they're the only region without a win.
Yeah. And that's unexpected. As I've said a couple of times already, just this broadcast.
Yeah.
If I told you this going into it,
I wouldn't believe you. I mean,
you'd think I'd be like, nah, come on, man. I'll bet you $100 on that.
Right, exactly. Yeah. If you just look at the historical performance of EU, this is a pretty uncharacteristic
and unexpected.
Yeah, for sure. That being said, let's go ahead and start taking a look at the specific matchup of Penta versus Boss, and maybe how is that going to play out stylistically?
Yeah, that's a hard one there, because I've said this in the past matchups of EU versus like Philippines and stuff like that, that EU generally is really good versus anybody but China and NA. But so far that's not held true.
Yeah.
So I can't even really say that as a fact anymore. But I mean, I'm still going to give the edge. I gave the edge to F3 last game, and I was wrong there. I want to give the edge to Penta here, just because, maybe because I'm friends with them yet again. I'm not really sure. It's not because I think they're 100% going to win, but it's more so just because I don't really know. It's like a 50-50 matchup here. It's Boss, #1 from Vietnam, Penta, #1 from EU.
It's hard to be completely unbiased, and it's something that goes along with the some of the players of Boss and Boss just kind of as a team. Even though you bring FatCon in, and maybe he has the same effect that it seems like Card is having for Makta, and really does center them, because we've yet to see there's usually like from the top Vietnamese team, there's usually just one match where you're like, whoa, what was that? Like, that was just completely unexpected, not good play from them, but they've looked pretty good and pretty standard here.
Yeah, and speaking of the Vietnamese squad, who do you think is their standout performer so far, or who is really going to match up against the standout performers from Penta?
I mean, what you would have to say, Ali, right?
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily that he's been out fragging his teammates. It's just that he's been kind of their pressure player. When you need important kills, it's Ali going out there and turning the tide for you.
That's for sure, and I would add on to that FotCon as well. His addition seems to have changed their style to a more consistent style that can win against more varieties of teams.
Yeah, I agree. And he has that pedigree. He's taken second place at CFS before.
And here comes into why I think Penta will come out on top of this match, because if you just match the teams up individually, you would think, well, Penta has some of the best aimers in the world. They have Blaine. This guy is nuts.
He has been popping off.
Yeah, they have NLS. This guy's nuts at aiming as well. They have FaZe. That guy, he's just random. He's all over the map. He's opping. He's deagling. He can do anything. He can rifle. So it's just like, that's the reason why I want to give Penta the nod.
That being said, we have not yet even once seen Penta really firing on all cylinders. You know, somebody's play, except, you know, the one constant has been Blame has been playing well. And
NLS.
Impactfully from Blame. And NLS is putting kills on the board round after round, whether or not we're seeing them and exactly how they're working out. And Loons has bounced back today, but still, it doesn't seem like they can get everybody working together at the exact same time, which is really what Penta thrives on.
Yeah, that's for sure. If they had all cylinders firing here, I mean, this would handily be in their favor, I think. But, you know, that could be far from the truth. You know, maybe even if they were all cylinders firing here, Boss could take it from them. This is a close matchup, I think. I'll say about Boss, they do have some good firepower as well. You know, Ali, they have Fatcon, they have, who's their new sniper again?
Oh.
Goodness. Where's the roster at?
If you had not directly asked me, I might have been able to tell you. But we'll have to pull that up for a second. But I think also for me that, you know, what I just said about Penta can be said about Boss, that they've been looking better and better, but they themselves have not been firing on all cylinders. I mean, they got pretty heavily stomped by SV. It's really, we've only seen, that being said, we've really only seen OPK really have an impact for them, and it is Lucas is the guy you're looking for there.
Okay, Lucas. Lucas hasn't been really shining though. That's what I wanted to point out, that their sniper is like, they have, it's a phase against Lucas here. I'll give FaZe the nod on that.
Yeah, you would think.
Now Shady though. I was gonna mention Shady in the last match. This man was popping off.
Yeah,
he was really popping off, and he had that one 5K he had, where he got the triple kill. They all lined up, and he just, I don't know, he's popping off all headshots, just banging it out. That's the man. You know, him lining up against any of the Penta members, he can line up, but can Lucas line up?
Yeah, it was definitely Shady who was not having. I mean, you expect him to be one of those pop up. You know, between him and Ali, you think of them kind of as that same sort of, for this Boss team, the same kind of duo that we see from N9 and 18. But it is finally nice to see them, you know, Shady filling it in that role of, you know, kind of the N9 for Boss here. It's just that Rita and Lucas, are they there for the team? As we do see pick ban coming across it, Boss is going to ban out Port, and Penta actually going to ban out Mexico, which will put us on Ankara and Blacklist chosen by Boss. What do you think of this ban pick here for you? Any surprises?
No, not really. Penta told me they're not really feeling that comfortable in Mexico lately, or Port. They say they think Port is their worst map, and then also along with Mexico. So great bans for them. Boss takes out Port for them, and then they take out Mexico. So yeah.
Left with Ankara. What about that side select? Does that surprise you at all? Actually, hold that thought, as it looks like we're ready to go immediately into game. Penta and Boss. Very important matchup here for Group A, or excuse me, Group B. We'll see what it does to the tables. Let's go ahead and get into it. As we head out onto Ankara, Boss will be taking to the advantage, or taking to the attack as they selected. And I was asking you right before we got into game, what do you think of that decision?
Oh yeah, 100%. Every time I play Ankara, I am picking BL side. It's just, you want to start out on the aggressive side of this match and set the pace. Like what they're doing right here, yeah, it was going great, but you're on BL side of Ankara. They can't rotate to you, so you can take those 4 players, attack anywhere, and what can they do? You're only going to be playing against 1 or 2 members, you know?
That being said, a decent trade here for Penta. Going to get a lot of information out of Blame's death, although, that being said, you know, with the way Blame's been playing, you definitely don't want him to be the one going down.
For sure, for sure.
And it does look like Boss is trying to close in here from multiple angles onto this A site, but Rita getting attacked within an inch of his life, and it is, in fact, Lunas who's going to take him down. Looking for more, but he gets traded out by Shady, and into the 3-on-3 we go. Deep fight there from Awesome and Ali, and it is Awesome who's going to come out on top, and that's really going to turn the tides here for Penta. If he can return to this fray, got quite a steep jog ahead of him, but does Penta really know that Boss is still on the attack here? As they are starting to swing out wide, it is Niels who's going to quickly open up, but he can't quite find the shots there on Shady. And into the 2-on-2 we go. Awesome is still so far away. And FaZe picks out one, he can't find the other, and it's the 1-on-1. But Shady should have really very little idea of where Awesome is because he's been missing for so long. And he's yet to plant the bomb here. He's on half health. He needs to get some kind of idea of where Awesome is before he's comfortable planting this bomb. Still plenty of time to work with for both players. And just holding a hard line here is Awesome, waiting for it. And Shady thinking about maybe rotating off of the site. He doesn't have time to get to the A site. He's going to have to put this bomb down before too long. But he just wants to find any kind of information. He finally does see Awesome, and he will be able to put the bomb down with that information. That being said, grenade from Awesome, not going to find out its target. Nice peek there from, oh, what a shot there from Shady, going to close out the round.
That's a disheartening loss there from Penta. I mean, if I were Awesome, I definitely would have tried to go into the tower early on. Yes, he didn't know where Shady was playing, and so he was a little scared. He didn't want to start going up the ladder and then have Shady just jump out on him. But at the same time, that top spot on that tower is defensible. Very defensible.
I mean, even if he just continued to hold that hard line that he was holding,
or that,
I mean, it's hard for him to know what Shady's thinking at that point. But Shady really did not want to. Oh yeah, Awesome coming out with a great pick here early in the round, shutting me up, I guess. But he really had no idea where Awesome was coming from and was not comfortable planting the bomb until he knew that. But unlucky there. Boss will go up 1-0 as we head into the second round, and people starting to... Boss heading over towards this A site, looking like it might be hit through vents here, or maybe even split. Oh, Shady going to take a lot of damage, though, just barely holding on to his life. Great shots there from Niels, just unable to find him, but he'll take that trade any day of the week.
For sure.
As we continue, but actually it's going to be Rita who takes down Awesome. The most delayed trade in the history of CF. In fact, I'm going to pick up another one here onto Niels.
It's essentially a 3v3 here, though, because Shady's on 1 HP. And it doesn't look like they're going to be taking the A site yet. They're just kind of delaying, even though the A site is wide open. They're giving time for Lunas to rotate over, and if Lunas plays his back spot here, which looks like he won't, he can get an easy kill on one of them coming up.
Yeah, that had to have been a very tense rotation there from Lunas, but he walks into A to find out he's actually all alone here. Blame going to pick one up onto Shady, and into the 2-on-3 we go. And the rotations are going to go ahead and come out here for Boss as they head towards the B site. Blame on low HP, going to need to take down another one here. See if he can't get Lucas as he jumps up onto these boxes. Ooh, Lucas going to get some information there. He knows there's at least one. And it does look like maybe Blame did see him as Lunas has immediately rotated over. And now Boss is going to be pot committed here to this B-side hit. And the bomb looking like it's going to go down as Blame does too. Oh, Lunas just getting not the best spray down from Fatcon, but he does pick it up in the end there.
Unfortunate series of rounds here from Penta. Just the late round scenario is not going in their favor. Yeah, they didn't have the numbers advantage there, but after Blame got that pick, it was even numbers.
I believe once Blame got that pick, it put it into the 2-on-3, in fact.
Oh, okay.
But doable, you would say.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they still had one super lit player as well remaining, I think.
Yeah, about half health there on, I believe it was Fatcon.
Definitely doable, it just didn't work out for them, unfortunately.
Still only 2 rounds into it, so plenty left in it, and that's going to be a free kill there for Niels, although he hits the beautiful headshot to make it even nicer. And he's going to get another one there onto Shady. Niels putting the team on his back for this round, although a ton of damage taken across the board here on Penta, except for Awesome and Lunas. Gonna give Boss a chance here in this 3v5. They're going to need to find at least one here before they try and take a site, though. Oh, and as if on cue, Lucas does take down, or Loons there with the op, looking for another quick scope there, unable to find it. Niels wisely backing up after hearing that shot, although he's found so much joy there in that connecting defensive spot. He's going to start to feel a little bit uncomfortable, and depending on what Rita and Fatcon can find out here, that it could be completely open plant here on the B side. But the bomb, is that what you were pointing out to me? The
Yep.
bomb just being straight up down there. Do they have eyes on it, though? It does look like Awesome has eyes on that. So that is incredibly influential.
It's going to be a very tough round here for Boss to come back into. But actually, Penta are stacked onto the A site right now, so they can pick out the straggling member of NLS here and maybe make this round work. But Blame, he doesn't want that to happen. He's taking out Rita just like that.
Important kill, you'd have to say there from Blame. The C4 is going to get picked up, but there's not enough time to rotate back over. And great, another big impact frag there from Blame, going to close out the round while FaZe takes down the other with a headshot.
That's what we like to see. They saw the bomb there. They took advantage of that. They stacked on toward it, and they finished out the round. Late round scenario, pretty even numbers, and they come out on top for once.
And now everybody on... he's got it. Always missed it there. FaZe took big tag damage for it too, but looked for all the world like he was going to put his team up there with a pick through the smoke. But all things considered, not the end of the world for either team, as both Ali and FaZe going to be tagged low. And the double op setup here for Boss, what do you think of that?
I mean, so far it hasn't really made any impact here, and I'm not sure where the other op is. Do you see where the other op is? I see one toward A long.
It is Ali and Lucas holding on to it, and if you see them there on the map.
So I don't really like this from Boss because they're not making any use of the second op onto Ali. He's still sitting in spawn watching mid, which is kind of pointless because who's going to peek mid late, really? I mean, unless they're collapsing on it, I guess, but... He needs to, if you're going to run two ops on CF, you need to make an impact with it. So you need to be moving around on two different sides of the map.
That being said, it does look like they are collapsing towards this B site as the C4 is aggressively moving forward, but Blame's going to have a great position here. He's going to get out one for free. Does he take this repeat here and look for more? They will know where he's coming from, but he's going to win the duel again there. He's looking for more. Feeling so hot there, but gets made to pay there by Lucas. Still, though, job done. I don't know if I would have gone that deep, though, as Blame.
You know, but at the same time, he did light up Lucas. That makes both oppers lit. But at the same time, they are both opping, so being lit doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, once you got that one hitter quitter there in your hands, so that can be super useful for you. As it does look like they might have the... Well, actually, they're just going to play it. I really like this setup here from Penta. It puts a lot of faith in your teammates to play this way.
For sure. Leaving mid wide open, expecting that they're probably, with the time that's left, there's no way they're running up mid. They're definitely going for one of the other two, either one of the sites. And when you have a 2v4, or a 3v4 actually.
It's so perfect right here, this setup.
Yeah,
with what the offense is for Boss. Oh, unless that happens. But
can't plant the bomb though. There's no way.
Nicely done there. And just super slow there. Ollie gets nothing done. He wanted to pick people off on the rotation, but yeah, weird with just slow from Boss. You have to say sloppy. A sloppy round. Even if they had gotten the picks, they wouldn't have had time to put the bomb down, as you said.
Yeah, it's just like they didn't notice the time there. I mean, it was such a eventful round there, and a little weird with Ali picking up the second op and sitting in mid. That's what made the time go down so slow. But as you see here, an A push coming out from Penta, and it's not working out for them so far. But they get one. They may be able to pick up Lucas here, but no, Lucas actually turns that around on me and picks out. I mean, it's a little curse there on him, I guess.
You know, maybe I think they were trying to make a hard read on the double op again, but instead it turns out to be 5 ARs that they run into, and that's maybe not what you want to see as you come try and make that aggressive push. That being said, they do know they took down the C4, but there's no way to try and come over and protect that when you have the man disadvantage.
FaZe in a pretty aggressive spot here with nobody covering his AC. He's open to pretty much everything. And brave man here, but he may be able to pick off
especially if he goes for this repeat. That would be the brave part, right? I think wisely he does back off, at least somewhat.
And this would be a decent, as soon as I say that one Penta member gets taken out, but a decent scenario for Penta because they were stacked toward B. But they're kind of thinking that maybe this is just some sort of fake or they're just going for picks. So,
and I mean, eventually,
Blame.
Boss has to do an A execute here, right? Yeah. There's not time to go get the bomb and then come back over to B. That being said, if you just kill everyone, you also win the round. So maybe that's the strat here. That being said, oh, Blame's got another one. Trying to solo this bad boy out. There will be plenty of time, though, to put that bomb down on the A side. And going to be the 1v2 retake. What is this? Does Blame have all of them?
All of what?
All the kills in this round?
I think so. I'm trying to think back.
I think he might be short. Somebody dropped. It depends on who got that initial kill in the bad 1-for-2 trade.
Yeah, it wasn't Blame. So he'll get he's trying to look at to get a round out of 4K here. Could not get those words out.
Yeah, but it would be probably the most impactful 4K we might have even seen with the way would go down. He's got still a tough job ahead of him, and doesn't look like he's going to have enough time to defuse the bomb, even if it were to get the kills to come across. But in the end, it's Ali who actually finds him there.
And that was honestly the best way they could have played it there. What they did was, as soon as they spotted out where he was at, they tried to crossfire him on both sides of the stairs. So even if he tries to pick one off, the other one can stab him in the back.
Yeah, a good round there from Boss after maybe a troublesome round previous to it. So getting the train back on the tracks immediately before it derails. And Penta going to be one round down here on the defense into the 6th round. Still plenty left to go in this one, and a lot left for Penta to bring it back here. And definitely going to look to continue to be on the back of Blame, sitting there with 8 kills to himself. Top fragging for the entire map here, and it's really been the Blame show so far for Penta round wins.
Yeah, he really needs to keep it up if Penta's expected to get a couple more rounds out of this. That being said, they're not doing too bad on the round score. They are on the GR side of Ankara, so if they keep this up, maybe end at a 5-4 half, not too bad.
I mean, you have to say, though, you would expect in this matchup that it's not Blame that's going to go out there and really have the huge impact just with the teams are set up. You would expect it out of FaZe.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to say as soon as you started saying that. FaZe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's just not gelling too well with the team too early. He's definitely a really skilled player. As you see the 8 attack coming in here, and Trade's just going back and forth a little bit here. Penta seemed to come out on top. Awesome. Awesome.
Great,
2K. Maybe making it 3K. No. And Ali's left alive with half HP. Awesome doing his job there, taking him down to such low HP. And FaZe coming, B-hopping in as usual. I like how you just see FaZe coming in on the corner of your screen, just B-hopping, always B-hopping. But yeah, back to the whole FaZe thing. I mean, maybe it's just not. Maybe it's just that he's not gelling too well with the team yet. Too early into the squad. I don't know, but he's definitely a very skilled player, and he can make a huge impact. He just hasn't so far in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, then how would you feel about just? Why don't you just then let Awesome pick up the op? You know, we know that he's very confident with that in his hands. When FaZe said, "Oh my goodness, that's not what you want to see, Niels."
What a lineup!
That being said, man, Niels picking up one there. I'm not sure what Lunas is thinking taking that peek. Why are they taking these peeks one at a time when they know that they're all stacked up? Such a strange play out here out of Penta, and it's looking to go absolutely pear-shaped.
Yeah, and back to what you were saying about FaZe and Awesome opping. I mean, at the same time as I was saying last time you asked this question, that FaZe is such a good opper that you don't want to give up that, that strength. He's also a really strong rifler.
Right.
So if you've already settled into a game plan where Awesome is opping, and you bring in a new player who is also a good hybrid, maybe you just have him rifle most of the time. He's good at both.
I will say something that we saw from both Penta and Flipside that was very noticeable towards the latter stages of the CFPL, in fact, was that both Awesome and FaZe were starting to trend off of the op, and they were really starting to run 5 AR setups. And so maybe it speaks to a confidence issue here for both of those players on those ops. Maybe
so.
And hopefully FaZe can get something going here and start to drive that confidence. And 'cause I think, Lucas is definitely someone you still, as the rounds continue to favor FaZe in this matchup, if you could just find those shots. And surprisingly, it's actually going to be Blame who's the first man to fall here for Penta. And, with all this stuff that we've been saying, it's still super close here. It's, only 4-3. And
for sure, it just goes to show that Penta, they're not really having all their guns firing here. It's really only Blame and a little bit of NLS here. So if they could just get FaZe going, that's why we're talking about it so much. It's just if FaZe could get going, they'd be having a much better chance in this half. Maybe even leading right now.
Yeah, still a couple rounds left in it. We'll see if FaZe can start to turn it on down the stretch here of the first half. And Loon's almost getting a free shot there onto Ali. Ali going to see that spray, though, and start to increase his awareness as he's walking through. And the calls are going to come out, and we'll have to keep an eye on Awesome as he is rotating over. But a first kill on the entry going to go to Ali. Fatcon picking up another one as they're on their way in. Huge flash, though. Does look like the site has been completely cleared as Awesome is the only man alive, and it's going to be a clean sweep.
Wow. Perfect. All 5 players standing alive.
Yeah, and that's a little bit troublesome there for Penta, but can all be turned around in this last round. 5-4 is completely acceptable.
That's for sure. Especially on the GR side of Ankara.
And we'll have to see how it goes here.
NLS definitely catching them off guard there. So they're starting out 5v4 in this round, so that's really good for them. But can they get NLS out of this spot, or is it going to be a trade? That's the real question right now. And Shady is going really aggressive onto A, trying to make sure they're not rotating off to help out FaZe. Nobody's in AC to help him out. And it looks like Loons, though. He's up the underpass, so he's definitely in a position to get a trade if they do come down onto NLS. Which looks like
that being said, that the smoke might throw a spanner into that plan. Although it does seem to be clearing out now. That's 2 for 2, baby. I have dropped my pen for the second time, but that's okay. I don't think anybody heard it that time until I told you. That being said, we do see looking like a pretty heavy B hit here coming. 4 members straight onto the B side. As I say that, they start to split through mid and fit right into the sights of FaZe, but again, he's unable to hit it. Looked like it was a little bit low as we saw it hit the dirt there. But still, they're pretty committed so far, and they've given up so much pressure. If they try to rotate back across, Niels could just shred them apart here. And as I say it, it comes to fruition as he does take one down onto Fatcon. And he's going to start roaming aggressively, Niels, trying to still in position to get this 5K. He's got one more. 3 now down for him. Blame ruins all the fun as Shady deserved Shady. You deserved that. Or excuse me, Blame. That death was deserved. You ruining all the fun for Niels. Who looked in great position to actually complete a 5K there in ace, but wasn't to be. And in fact, only 3 to his name.
You know, right there near the end, though, NLS stepping up.
Yeah,
that's good to see. I think he ended with either 8. I think he ended with 8 kills on the half.
And you'd have to say, especially that last round was 100% on the back of Niels.
Well, that's for sure. That push-up in the mid was literally what won them the round.
Mm-hmm.
He caught the rotation after he got that initial kill.
Yeah.
And then you got that third kill afterwards.
Right. And at that point, you know that somebody's behind you, and you know they're closing in from every angle. It's all but over. All over but the crying, as it were, for that last round. And that puts us into 5-4, 100% doable. You know, as you said, Ankara slightly favored for blacklist here. So if Penta can just put that one extra round there and end it 6-3 instead, or 6-4 instead, then Penta will be able to pick up a match win here.
Aggressive right off the bat, try to set the pace here, and 1-for-1 trade, and they have control of CT here. This is beautiful. Now they basically have B side for free, and they can plant for CT, which is a very defensible position.
Ouch, Tim.
Wow, what a nade, though.
As well as Shady, yeah.
Shady picking up one off there. Why are you peeking so far? All you have to do, you don't have to take full control of B side. All you have to do is plant for CT, and we're going to see a battle here between Rita and Awesome probably here in a moment.
Will Rita check the box?
Most likely, no. It's a little bit too much to check when he's worried about CT. He's just going to end up playing the pass. Ooh, Shady picking off another here. Shady is just...
Oh, he almost had great chance, great opportunity to peek there from Awesome. And the bomb continues to tick down. 19, great flash. Somebody needs to stick the plant. You have 2 people, right? Just somebody take the duel and somebody stick the plant. Although, it's in front, yeah. If it were in back, you would say stick the plant, but good plant there from Penta allowed Niels to have a shot at that.
But yet again, they made the mistake of, if they're going to plant there, why take full control of B side? Why peek the ramp? Why? They literally, that probably actually lost them the round, was peeking that. All they had to do was take control of CT, get somebody in the tower, maybe 2 in the tower, and then it's really hard for the CT to win the round.
It's almost like they're
doing it again, though. coming out 1-for-1 trade, and then Lucas picks somebody off toward a long go.
Ooh, a lot of damage. Niels, what are you doing turning around and taking that trade straight up? It's so heavily in favor of him at that point. I think that's just sloppy play. Maybe a little bit of tilt coming in here onto Penta, as looking like another round going to go here in favor of Boss. They just can't seem to. I like the play again. They just can't seem to stop Ali from taking one down with him. And this time Lucas brings another one with him, and it all goes to as in the end, really clean closeout there by Boss, and Penta starting to maybe fall apart a little bit here.
Starting to feel the pressure. They've taken so many losses already. They're getting a little stressed out because one's seeming a little imminent here with a 7-4 scoreline now.
Yeah, we'll see if they can't pull it back here, or if Europe will continue to go winless here at CFGI. Big story here so far. We've had a couple of interesting storylines continue to progress through this tournament. But if Boss can pull this out, they will be our second team. They will be our second seed out of Group B, and we will have almost the entire playoff picture or bracket filled in here for CFGI. And interesting stuff happening right there on your screen as Neil sneaks into underpass. And we'll have to see how this plays out. FaZe, you have to say, should be able to pick this. You know, you would expect almost immediately to see, well, that's something you're used to seeing up on the scoreboard is Blame getting a kill. I was about to say, if you were used to the typical style of Penta, you would expect to see FaZe's name light up almost immediately as FatCon looking for all the world like he's going to walk straight into the scope there of FaZe. It does come to fruition, and Lucas, the last man alive with a deagle in his hand, with a hope and a deagle in his hand, I guess you'd say.
That hope is going to be crashing and burning there. That was a good take from Penta. If they can keep that this intensity up, it's bound to work out for them a little bit more. Let's just notice that the first round they rushed up mid. It worked out for them. They made a little mistake near the end that cost them the round, but that intensity seems to be working for them. They should keep that intensity and that aggressiveness up.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you can tell Boss seems to be under pressure. That being said, Boss giving a completely different look, trying to predict this push here from Penta, and the bomb kind of dropped in a little bit of an awkward situation. If Boss were to push out a little bit further, it doesn't look like they will. The bomb's going to be retrieved, and doesn't look like the mid play is going to come out. As Ali again holding that position, has been the man to at least take one with him as he goes down in said position, and this could be a huge read if they can commit quickly here. Only Rita here to stop them. A free round if you get in there, Penta. Do it. Go, go, go. Unfortunately, they don't know where anyone is. Unless
Rita goes huge here.
Yeah.
I hope for Penta's sake that doesn't happen. And then NLS going in. Getting another frag on the scoreboard. End of last half, and the early rounds of this half.
Good position NLS here from FaZe. But he could be looking the wrong direction. If he can just take one with him, it'll be worth the information. He hasn't been able to do it, and it will be a 4v4 here. But they should have a good idea where they're coming from.
All four. He should have seen 3. Ouch. He won't see the AC guy, but he should have seen 3.
Bit of tag damage coming through from some grenades. Nice flash there from both directions, and Loons actually gets one for it.
Beautiful hold. 2K from Awesome and 1K each from the 2 other members there.
You have to say perfect timing from that flash from Loons.
It really was.
He got flashed out, but he flashed out multiple members instead, and Awesome was there, unflashed, able to clean it up for him. And he even got one while flash, he was able to spray one down. And after everything we said, you know, Penta looking like they are starting to fall apart, it's all of a sudden it's 6-7, right? They were able to right the ship and get right back into this one as we move into the 14th round here. As, you know, if they go right back to it, it's going to end up working really well for them.
You know, they're just tightening up the little mistakes they made. And that's the only thing that was losing them in the rounds on the T side. And here they go with the aggressiveness again. They should be able to pick him off.
Great play by Shady, you have to say.
Yeah, that was actually really good. Just falling off instantly, and he's at a very good position here. They probably expected him to fall fully off. He's not going to pick out of this, but he doesn't look the right way, and he's still going to make it out. That is unfortunate on Penta's side.
4 HP. And now you have to completely rethink your strategy here as Penta, because it's been too slow. Shady has slowed you down way too much to make this be hit at any kind of pace, and sure enough, rotations in force have come across, and they're looking to get aggressive here, Boss, into the bar or the hotel, and willing to take the trade as Loons, but it's not a one-on-one there. Probably expecting Shady to come through that door, but it's not a 4 HP member. Instead, it's 3 members on mostly high HP except for Shady. Blame, great end around there, though. Can't find Ali, and Ali's going to get 1 before going down. He's going to get 2. Huge play there from Ali. Going to completely turn this round heavily in favor of Boss. Especially, he took almost no damage there, Ali.
Yeah, and let's just notice the score of Lucas real quick. The member we were talking about before this game even happened, that he needed to kind of step up here a little bit. Wanted to see how the sniper matchup was going to go, and it's been heavily in his favor so far. FaZe, he's been on the scoreboard a little bit, but not as much as you're used to seeing him.
Yeah, I mean, for this entire tournament, you know, usually you see at least, even if it's just one half of a map, you just see one time at least where FaZe just completely pops off. And great kill here by Rita, trying to put this team onto match point here. FaZe is actually going to pick up the AK and finds one there onto Rita. So maybe this is the mix-up they're looking for as Lunas finds another. And we'll see how Penta decides to proceed with this advantage that they've gotten. Shady poking out around, isn't going to find anything there. It does look like they thought maybe the A hit would come out very quickly, and they've completely abandoned the B site. Only FaZe left here to try and poke around and make Boss think that this is still an option. We'll see if they can read this out, and it does look like maybe one rotation is going to come back towards the B site. No, they're still going to hold that 3-stack on the A, and Penta can have a free plant on B if they can realize it. And FaZe, that should be worth it here, as he's going to hear multiple rifles go off before he dies, and they will know 100% that B is free, and should be able to get into good post-plant positions before anyone can come across from Boss. And you'd have to say this round looking like it's favoring Penta, but anyone's round still here to take.
Those late round scenarios have definitely gone either way. It doesn't matter who has the numbers here, since the numbers are so close.
Ouch, yeah. You have to say that grenade looked like it was right on trajectory, and it does take down Niels, but double kill, huge double kill there from Awesome to keep his team in this. But do they have any idea where Lucas is? And it's going to be Awesome who gets, or Loons who actually closes out the round.
A scary shot there from Lucas, the way he just deleted Awesome so quick.
Yeah.
Luckily enough, who was last alive? Lunas peaked right after. Didn't give him the chance to readjust his aim. And
not from the angle he was expecting. I think he was expecting him to be by on the bomb site there, but instead it was behind boxes.
Yeah.
Ooh. And although it's Lucas that fires the shot, instead it's Blame who gets a headshot almost with as if it were his own bullet, and takes down Rita
from a connector. Yeah.
And
Rita's not coming out. He didn't want Rita coming out the same way he did last round and getting a quick pick from a connector.
And Penta kind of starting to turn it on here towards the end stages and putting rounds together on the board, and they've gotten him free. Nobody's home at the A site.
But Lucas, he gets a quick pick from a tower. You got to be wary of that. You know that's a possibility there. You can't be just, Blame, playing a dangerous game there.
Did he get tagged there in the leg?
He did on the cross back, I think, just now. I'm not really sure, though.
I think it was as he went across, he got tagged in the leg by the op.
That's unfortunate. That was maybe he was grabbing the bomb or something?
Yeah, the bomb had not been planted. But he threw a smoke and then immediately jumped through.
Maybe he was playing games. Yeah. As soon as he sees the smoke, maybe the sniper will look away.
Or relaxing a little bit. I guess he relaxed.
Oh, wow. I've never seen that movement before. He ran along the fence and then jumped up. And Awesome just going ham here. Penta able to hold it. Unexpected there. Once that first pick came in, you were thinking maybe it's going in the GR's favor, but Awesome. Wow.
Yeah, great clutch. I mean, it's not technically a clutch, but the way that it happened,
play,
it feels clutch. Yeah.
Clutch play. Good
A
to see
clutch
from Awesome
play,
there.
but not a dictionary definition for an FPS of clutch.
And here they go, straight up mid again. I like this aggressiveness from them. Hopefully they can pull it off, though. The flash blinding Luke is so hard.
But
Maybe they can pick him off. He's
still-
reloading.
Still able to tear them apart.
Not sure what that was from FaZe there. Throwing the nade like that. But they still have the site for free. They planned it already. They planned it quickly this time.
And anytime when you have these 4v4 situations with the bomb down, that timer really starts to play on your mind as you have to take down 4 players before you can really start defusing. And Ali ticked within an inch of his life, literally 1 inch of his life. And that being said, Neil's
Awesome with the
tagged as
backstab.
well. Blame already going to start it off. He's a bit slow here on this backstab, but it's awesome. He's found it, but he can't quite find it on target. Ali, the only man alive. Do they have any idea where he's coming from? He's going to have to get one, and it is Loons who finds it onto Ali. And all of a sudden, Penta putting us on game point.
Penta with momentum here. Momentum, that's what it is right now. They're just going savage mode and just running around and just running over them in mid and stuff.
And we've seen the plays come so close to working, that exact play down mid, and finally it comes out for them where they are successfully able to do it.
That's the thing about strategy. If you're running a strat and it works but doesn't work for one reason, you know what I mean? Like the strat works, but one thing causes you to lose the round. You can still run that you can still run that strat again later on in the half and feel confident in it.
That's a good point. Just table it for now. We can use it later. That being said, Penta, last chance here to close it out in regular time. Put yourself in the shoes of Penta. What's the call here?
Well, I like what they're doing right now. They're waiting for pushes. They're literally just sitting in spawn and with one watching the mid push and now making his way up mid. But I like what they did here. They're waiting for the pushes. Now Boss didn't push. So what is the decision now?
Now you have to worry a little bit about where are people on the map, right? Are they pushing out of A? Are they into the hotel? But they know for a fact that mid is safe. But they're going to have to get a little bit more information before they can start making informed decisions as to where to go. And Awesome and Neil's here going to start poking in towards the A site. But a really, really deep, continuous hold here from Boss, which can be so dangerous here on Ankara because, as you've mentioned so many times, the slow rotations.
Yeah.
As we see the hit coming out, and it is going to be Facon who gets a double kill. And oh no, it's so slow now from Shady picking up another, looking like for all the world we're going to get another overtime on our hands, barring some heroics here from Loons.
Gotta flip a coin, pick one name, but you picked
Exactly.
the wrong one.
I didn't get there in time to say it. I don't think that's going to do much for you there, Loons, as you do get dropped immediately. And back-to-back overtimes we go.
Close games between these two last teams.
Yeah.
EU, 2 ties in a row. Can they pull this one out, though?
Remains to be seen, right? Remains to be seen. You'd have to favor them slightly.
2 Vietnamese teams as well. It's an odd scenario where 2 Vietnamese teams in a row, 2 EU teams in a row, both tied. That's crazy.
And the 1 seeds versus the 1 seeds, the 2 seeds versus the 2 seeds, right?
Right, yeah. And so far in this matchup, though, I think the T side for Penta, they've been playing it really well. They haven't been messing up too much except for on the small things that I've mentioned so far. So I wouldn't change anything up on their T side. On their CT side, maybe doing a little bit more map control. Maybe pushing out of A, pushing out of B, pushing somewhere, doing something like that rather than just opting to sit back.
Rita definitely having some words here for his team as they get ready to go into overtime. It's definitely something you like to see out of your experienced member, right?
Yeah. And the same could be said for from the Vietnamese team. If Boss just keeps doing what they're doing and just corrects the little small things, they can come out with this win as well. Both teams are playing really well. The rotations are good. They're just both not taking map control on the GR side. Now, Boss did try a little bit on the GR side, but it didn't really work out for them.
Interesting. We're going to see a conflict here early on into the first round of overtime. I say that, but 2 great flashes from both sides are going to delay it. And oh no, we've had to minimize as trades do come across, and Lucas with a double kill. That was an epic minimize. And Awesome going to trade one back into the 3-on-3 we go. The health advantage here too, awesome. And he's picking up one, but he's alone in the pit, going to get traded out immediately by Ali. And a 2-on-2 now. And oh no, Ali does pre-fire it, but he came dangerously close to running into two where he thought there might be one. Oh, excuse me. It just looked that way. Prospectively.
It's kind of curious for me that Penta opted to go for the A rush again. And it looks like Awesome is going to run into a little bit of trouble here as FatCon is ready for this.
They're going to see the bomb.
Oh, that is true. So maybe they won't go too far. They're not going to back up, and is probably going to pick up both. No, Ali is going to get a piece of his own. And devastating round. First round of overtime, so close.
Why not just camp the bomb, but from just a slightly behind positions? Maybe how would they ever expect you to be there?
Yeah, and if you see the bomb there and they were mid, you probably expect them to be close, maybe coming back for it or something. But once again, the map control that Penta opted for, A long, it didn't work for them last time. Why go for the same one again? Try something a little bit different.
And just to speak a little bit more about the way that was set up, go ahead.
I was just going to say that they are doing something a little different here. They've got a lot of information at B by pushing up and a lot of information at middle by pushing up. He's in the pit and middle right now. So they know both those spots are clear. That's why they have stacked toward A.
Blame going to be in a whole heap of trouble here.
But they have no idea. And
slow.
He catches one off guard, but
now he has no idea. Oh, he's got... That's huge. And then FaZe gets a one from the connector as well. Shady not knowing where his enemies are. And... that could have gone so badly for both teams almost simultaneously. And in fact, you have to give credit to Blame to be able to take down two before he gets backstabbed by Shady. And this could be a big round here for Penta. They are 4-stacking, looking to play to retake. If it goes on to B, I actually really like this play here from Penta. What do you think?
I think that was great. Honestly, I was mentioning it as they were doing it. I was saying they need to do something else on map control. They need to get information elsewhere because the A-long stuff is not working for them. So what they did was they pushed up mid, pushed up B, got information, stacked A, and then it just so happened that Boss didn't check the mid spot for where Blame was because they didn't see him go across to AC.
And here we go on the retake, a 2v4, bit of interesting positions here held by Shady, and he's going to find a great headshot there onto FaZe. He's going to get out, and he's going to look for the repeat. I think you have to. That's such a huge play there by Shady. As it's like, oh, and Rita's going to go down. Also tries to stick the defuse. No. And it's all gone sideways here. But Lou's trying to save it now. He's put himself in the one-on-one. He's got the health disadvantage, but only had the deagle out. Oh, and there it goes. Wow. I want to see that from Awesome's perspective.
How does Shady get away with this so often this match? Just taking a couple shots, maybe getting a kill, and then backing away.
I mean, how important was it that it was a golden headshot?
That it was a headshot in general, pretty good, but gold is worth more than silver, so.
Well, there you go. Well, I just mean that it cost him to take literally 0 damage.
It was a good start here by Penta. Maybe they can cinch this one out. Maybe they trade it back on there, so the numbers are decently even here. And now they're right back to even. Penta, can they win the late round scenario this time?
Look at Blame getting...
Can they make the right plays?
Blame getting super aggressive here, which will give them so much information. And we've seen so much success.
Time, did he see the B guys? I don't think he saw the B guys. And so he has no idea they're there. Maybe he does. I'm not sure.
Oh, we'll see a little bit of that spray, though, which means that somebody's got to be in the area. And there's only 3 members alive, so... And they're really starting to close the dragnet here, Penta. And Lucas will miss a shot there. And this is such an interesting way for Penta to be playing this defense. Because they're just, I mean, like I said, they're just closing the dragnet in here.
They know exactly where they are. There's no other place they can be. So Boss doesn't know, but they're in a trap here. No matter where they move, they're going to get collapsed on from behind.
That being said, you still have to hit your shots, right?
100%. But what members are left alive? NLS, Awesome, and Blame. The 3 who have really been doing work this game. What better members to have?
Oh, and here we go,
Blame. He picks one for one trade, but they are watching the back here. So if NLS goes a little bit too quick, he's going to be caught off guard. And oh, he didn't. He didn't. I thought for a second there he was about to peek it.
But the clock is ticking lower and lower and lower, and Boss have no idea where anyone is. They've lost complete map pressure. They have basically all they can do is rush B and pray that nobody catches them off guard.
And Penta knows they're going B. There's no other place that they can go. And unless He does a good job there, catching them both off guard. Great play from NLS. NLS is really just coming alive in this second, in this overtime.
And that puts you right where you want to be, right? You want to get at least 2 in your first half of overtime. You have to give the nudge here and the advantage to Penta. Right? Penta picked up 2? Am I wrong?
I think it was Boss. I don't know how we both watched the same match, but we both don't know.
Well, I mean, that last round was that's right, because it was the crazy. I just assumed because it was the 2v4. Yeah. And where Awesome stuck the defuse. I want to see.
But to me, it's like, I don't understand
why are you
that round
sticking
right there. Yeah, why are you sticking it when there's 2 members left alive and they're so close to you? In order to peek your teammates, they have to peek you as well. They're going to see you. Unless you were in the smoke.
Use the 2-man advantage. Like, how there should be no way that doesn't work for you.
They're kind of running a variation of the strategy here. They're going underpass instead, maybe with one going out mid-late. Not really sure what he's doing there, but this is a good strategy so far. I like this. And one... they got one pushed A long on the GR side, so they have a lot of information here. They know exactly where they are. This is going to be number 2 on the T side.
Not the best flashes, though, and FaZe in such a good position. He's going to stall them out at least, and they have to look at 2 different angles at the same time. That being said, not quite hitting their shots here. switches out his 2-shot AK for a 1 with 5. Not necessarily what you wanted to see there, but 2 on 2 now as one getting opt out there. The bomb is planted, however. Grenades are going to come out. Beautiful flash there, but they get it anyway. Blame picking up a headshot through it, and Loon's taking another one. Evening it up.
That was insane. 2-2. That flash right there was insane. So was the headshots by Penta, but wow. I don't know. That could not have been purposeful.
That's just muscle memory.
That could not have been purposeful. There's no way. He meant to throw it at the ramp, yeah, but that was such a perfect flash. I'll just give it to him. I'll give it to him.
Prove that it wasn't, and I'll believe you. If it wasn't perfect flash for both of them, and if you could hit that every time, it's a great flash to have in your repertoire.
Why is Blame going with the bomb? The strategy must have been something, I don't even know, but the bomb is there, and Rita knows it. They're going to get backstabbed by Rita. This is such a devastating round here for Penta. Wow. What happened? The strategy must have fallen apart somehow.
Yeah, it was a bit, or maybe Blame... Maybe somebody tried to toss the grenade to put it on the ground, and it actually just tossed it into Blame.
And he didn't notice it. Maybe so. Wow. And it looks like they're going for some sort of mid-aggression here again. Maybe the exact same strat they ran the first round. 3 underpass. Yeah. 3 underpass, 1 mid, and 1 B. See how it works. They're going fast this time, and Blame, he picks up the early kill. I like this. This is working out a lot better already than the last time.
I mean, really, you'd have to say that that was a duel to watch there between Ali and Blame. It's been so important, both of these players early in the round getting kills, and Blame gets another one, trying to put us into the golden round. Are we going to see a golden round? FatCon, all that stands between us and our first golden round here at CFGI, and it'll be FaZe. I swear, he's almost looked better with the deagle than he has with
that is his thing. But dude, I must say about Penta right now, they're not. None of them are really underperforming. But Blame, he is doing so hot.
Lights out, you'd have to say.
He's lights out, and NLS is coming in such key moments and just fragging hard. I'm sure Blame and NLS are pretty decently even in frags right now, and awesome. He's not as high in frags as them. I don't think he is. But impact frags.
Influential,
yeah. He's got that triple kill that he got earlier that was beautiful. And Loons has had some key frags as well. There's not enough frags to go around.
Number, right?
Yeah, but he's definitely been there. You notice him in the key moments like that.
On the other side, though, this man right here, it's felt like a lot of Ali versus Blame just for those early round kills, and sometimes Niels and Shady as well playing really well. Lucas stepping up.
Yeah.
The first time we've really seen him be super influential in a match, except for a little bit actually on Ankara. Perhaps he's just a very good Ankara player.
Interesting strategy here from Penta. Such a different strategy here. Oh, they're coming out. This is beautiful from Blame. Rita's apparently played there so many times that Blame just knew he was going to be there. He had the bomb again. Awesome. This is vital right here. Yes, he can pull it out. So now we're in a 3v2. Can Penta pull this out in golden round overtime? But
2v2.
Why are they over peaking? They need to plant the bomb first and then make their move
2v1.
afterwards.
It all comes down to Niels, and
Wow.
he loses it.
Wow. I've not. The only thing I can say about that round is wow.
And that
It went back and forth.
Boss rightfully celebrating as that puts them through into the bracket stage. He falls on the ground. Ali completely did not realize that that's what it did for a second until somebody told him. And then he immediately was the most hypey member on the team,
Just
falling
wow.
onto the ground. Great here for Boss to be able to move on to the second round.
What a way for that to end. I'm just shocked. I thought Penta had that round. And what a great read it was from Blaine. Jumping in there, only looking left, knowing that's the way they play it.
Yeah,
And then
you might even call that round a bit of a throw.
near the end, yeah. That over peek by Loons on the back. Yes, he needed to cover the back, but did he need to peek that far? That early?
Right, just get that information. If he just sees that man, it's such a good peek, right?
Yeah.
But to peek that wide and try to take the duel, what's the benefit of that without the bomb being down, without you really going to get any pressure or help for a trade? You're just taking a straight up one-on-one duel. I mean, it's a bit aggressive.
It's just unfortunate from Penta losing in golden round.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they lost in golden round. They didn't get smashed. Same with F3. They didn't get smashed. They lost in overtime as well.
0-6 now for EU.
0-6. That's a notable stat there. I mean, they haven't even picked up a single map.
Yep.
Wow.
And
But even still, hella props to Vietnam. Vietnam has
For sure.
come to play this time. As we said before, Vietnam notoriously inconsistent. Some matches, some tournaments they're really, really good. Some tournaments they're just, are they really here? Were they here? Are you sure?
you know it's
And they're definitely here to play in CFGI.
You know what's interesting is this is oddly reminiscent of the last big tournament that FatCon was in.
Where you got second place.
Yeah, where EU was not performing. EU didn't perform that time, and they didn't perform that time. It was Makta in a third place match with a Chinese team, and Freedom in the first place match against EP Modern, right?
I don't remember exactly who won it.
One of the EPs.
But I think that may have been the time where
That's the year TF won
even.
it.
Or was it TF?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty
TF
sure.
No, TF was 2013 or 14 first.
Regardless,
There's two CFSs in 2014. It's hard to keep track. But regardless, wow. A lot of rounds in that match where that's what all I had to say was wow. Like that round by Awesome with the triple kill. All I had to say was awesome. Wow.
yeah, I mean,
And then the ending, just what? Wow.
yeah, it's been a good.
So many back and forth.
I mean, even though we're starting to get into a position where maybe not the most important matchups coming up, except for the one I've been looking forward to all day, which is that Makta versus TGF, and that was already the most exciting of the day for sure. And Yeah.
then now it's definitely the most exciting of the day because it means the most.
Cherry Stars versus Rude will be our next matchup, which will be again for bragging rights here, right? Cherry Stars did finally pick up their first win, but Rude has yet to. They're 0-2, right? So with OPK going down 1-2, Brazil also has a bit to prove here, and only with one win of their own. So it's been an interesting CFGI with different regions starting to step up that had starting to fall to Vietnam and Philippines. It started to fall to the wayside a little bit, and it looked like Brazil was surging, and EU was starting to be more of the consistent non-Chinese region, but kind of being turned on its head here.
Yeah, throws it on its head. Because in the last CFS, we had the Espanol region getting third. We had EU getting second. We had Russia getting fourth. Where was the Philippines?
Yeah.
It wasn't Makta there, of course, but at the same time, Makta didn't come in first, so you can't really say it wasn't Makta there.
I mean, when was the last time we've really seen a big performance out of the Vietnamese side?
Yeah, it's been since probably 2014. It's been 3 years.
So there you go.
Last CFGI, they didn't do too hot. They tied last place with NA. And I don't even think they picked up a map in the last CFGI. And then look at them now. Yeah, they are not outperforming the Philippines.
Right.
That's a given. But they have one Vietnamese team out. They're not outperforming
I
Makta.
mean-
Makta has looked definitely stronger overall, in my opinion.
If Makta loses to TGF, Boss has the same record, but I agree that just by watching, the two teams, if you know, they can beat both 3-1, but Makta's wins have been more impressive. And here we go, XYC going to bring us another replay here, and this looks like Boss on the attack, coming through middle. I wonder if this is actually a round win from Penta, where is this the one where Niels gets that kill early? I'm not sure. We'll just see how it plays out.
Yeah, we'll just see how it plays out, because I don't remember this one at all.
Because that is a heavy stack here.
Oh, this is going to be 3 underpass here, huh?
3 underpass.
So that's
with
kind of
one
the same
lurking.
strategy that... That's 4 underpass. Or are they? Find out here.
Looks like he...
Is he drawing a chicken?
I'm not sure. We'll have to see how this goes, but...
If he could just draw his line already, that'd be nice.
or if I could hear what he's talking about, that would also be helpful. But no, he's not loud enough for me to hear from here. That being said, let's just go ahead and see how it plays out. It doesn't look like a 4-1 split here. Oh, with Lucas is trying to catch anybody who's going to catch them out in this play.
Maybe it is a mid push then. It is definitely a mid push because they're already crossing past the tunnels.
Which makes Niels and Loon's position super important here, as they have set up a crossfire in preparation of this.
Is this the one where you were saying why did they keep peeking maybe? Where they kept peeking 1 by 1 or something like that? Maybe that's it.
Oh, where Niels sees all 5 of them, or Blame dies all 5.
Niels picks 1, and then they keep peeking 1 by 1. So yeah, they pick 1 here, and then Lunas peeks, dies,
takes
and
the
then
re-peek into multiple members.
This was a good strategy by Boss, but at the same time, Penta were running the same thing. So this was the most run strategy of this entire game, running up mid.
Yeah, but you'd have to say that defensively, Boss defended it better.
Oh,
because
by far.
That was the way that those peaks were coming out from Penta were so sloppy. Niels has to communicate that he sees multiple members, dies to him, then Loon turns and sees 1, but there's multiple behind him, says, well, fine, I'm just going to go try and take this trade. Dies, loses the trade anyway, but even if you do, the absolute best you get out of that is for a 1-for-1.
You know, yeah, if anything, I think it was just unfortunate for them the way they were set up, right? So it started off, the first 2 kills kind of unavoidable.
Yeah.
But after that, the guy peeking the bridge, what he was doing was he's trying to get down there to help Loons and help his teammate out. So yeah, you give him props for it's okay that he was doing that, but at the same time, they were already up mid. Loons had to, or NLS had to have been calling that they were running up the stairs. They're coming up mid. So there's no time for him to fall back from the bridge and help his teammate.
Yeah.
So if anything, he should think in his mind, let me fall back real quick. But at the same time,
great round.
They would already been down 5-3.
Yeah, that'd be a great round win from Boss, and they look good. I still think that they come in as number 4 seed, but we'll have to see going forward. You know, with teams like once we see this Makta TGF match, which is all important now. What it really looks like going into the bracket stages. However, next up we do have Cherry Stars versus Rude Gaming, and we'll be right back with that match after this break.